Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing well. So just a little quick video. I've been dying to use these. They are huge. I mean, like, look how big. These are the smaller ones. These were in here. These are absolutely massive. So I just thought I'd do a kind of cute little summary set. I have got a small Temu haul coming as well. So I can't wait for that to arrive. So I will. It's not huge. It's just a few little bits. I didn't want to waste my money on things that I don't actually need. So it's just a few little bits. But I am doing a peel off method for this. So I am using this. I got this off eBay. I think it was like £1.99. If I can find it, I will leave it below. Yeah. So. And the tips I'm using are these soft gel tips. These you can get these from Temu, but I actually ordered them from Shein because at the time Temu wasn't delivering in the UK, but now they are. So I was like straight on that. So I haven't prepped any of my nails, and I'm not going to. I am just going to go straight in. Oh, it's a massive clump on that. With the peel off base coat. This peel off base coat, I really, really like it. It is very thick though. Very thick. Yeah, so I'm just going to go in with just one layer. I have done 2 layers before, and I do find that easier to peel like your tips off, to pick them off afterwards if I do 2 coats. But that might have just been where I missed a part. And I'm going to be popping the tips on with just a base, well, the full cover tip, shall I say, with just a base coat. I'm not going to use anything proper because it is just a bit of a waste when I'm just taking them off anyway. So I'm just popping this all over, and ideally I probably should have pushed back my cuticles, but this is just, it's not really showing you anything really. But I am going to go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm trying to like keep my mind off of, I have a hospital appointment on the 30th of this month to have is it a colposcopy? A colposcopy? A coloscopy? I don't know. Let me show you. This word right there. Colposcopy. I don't know. Very confusing. So that's cured. So I am just going to go ahead and start popping my tips on with Tobeglam base coat. And I have a little like lamp, a clamp lamp next to me. Yeah, so I've been Googling, and you know what happens when you Google. If you Google anything, you're dying basically. So yeah, I'm trying my hardest not to Google. So a couple of years ago, I'm not really sure how, I want to say like 2 years ago, I want to say, I had, my first ever smear was normal, and then I am 33, I'll be 34 next month, but my first ever smear was normal. There we are. This one might be a little bit too small actually, but I'm taking it off anyway. Yeah, my first ever smear was normal, and then I think it was 5 years later I had my second one, and it said that I had HPV. Human papillomavirus. It is just like a cold, but kind of like where your cervix is. So there's no like cure or anything like that for it, just in case you don't know. Yeah, so I had human papillomavirus, so I had to go back. I'm just flash curing these, and I'll put them in the bigger lamp. Yeah, so I had to go back every year to have that done. So I went back the following year, and it usually takes 2 years for human papillomavirus to disappear on its own. Your body just has to try and fight it off. But mine didn't. So I went back and I still had it. And then I just had like my third one. My third smear. And when you have your third one a year later, because when you have human papillomavirus, you have to go every year for 3 years. If it's still there the third time you go, when you have your smear, you do then have to go to the hospital and they just have a look. But my third one did come back with HPV. I'm not doing very well on these. They're sliding around. Yeah, it came back with HPV and low abnormal, like, cell changes or something. Let me have a look. Okay, so I've got my letter, and it says that it showed that there are changes to some of the cells in your cervix called low-grade dysgerosis mild, which is, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other people a lot worse off than me. I'm just going to pop these in the lamp just for another 30 seconds. I know there are people that have worse results, so in a way I am kind of still lucky that this is still low. My mum did have to have a hysterectomy in her mid-30s. I am 34 next month. Yeah, so I also have severe endometriosis, and they won't do another surgery to get rid of the rest of my endometriosis because of how severe my endometriosis for surgery that I had done a couple of years ago. It was horrendous. It was like on my colon, on my bowel, everywhere, like literally everywhere. It was pulling my bowel was actually being pulled to the right hand side because of the scar tissue was just pulling it to the wrong side of my body. It was horrendous, my surgery. So they have said that they don't really want to kind of do another surgery, which is fine. This was going back last year because I went to see my gynecologist about my stomach and how bad it is and things like that. Yeah, so it was a bit of a bummer, but I've got my hospital appointment. I've been Googling, and apparently according to Google, you know, it's the worst news ever. But it's not. I'm just trying to take my mind off it. I am a worrier. I do have health anxiety. I've not always had health anxiety. My health anxiety came from, just lift you guys up, came from when my mum was ill for so many years. She did have COPD. So being in and out of hospital with her quite a lot, I think that just really caused me to have health anxiety. So whenever I'm ill, I'm like, oh my God, there's something really wrong kind of thing. And I'm not a hypochondriac, okay? I know a lot of people think, oh, you're a hypochondriac. I'm not. I'm really not a hypochondriac. It's just because seeing my mum so ill and things like that, it plays on your mind, you know? It plays on your mind about, oh, am I going to be like that kind of thing? I'm just giving these a little bit of a blend in. This is just more of a, do my nails, have a chat. So, I haven't got kids. I'm not planning on having a child of my own. I did speak to my gynecologist last year, about having a hysterectomy, and she was a bit like, because I'm childbearing age, because of my endometriosis, guys. I know people are like, oh, you might regret it because you're still young. I have thought about it for a couple of years, and my stomach is horrendous. Like, I have the worst endometriosis. It's not nice having to have surgery on your bowel, your colon, your bum. It's not nice. It is horrible. I am bloated all the time, and by all the time, I mean all the time. My stomach, you know how sometimes your stomach will go out, then back in, and then back out again, just because you've got a little bit of fat there. Normal. It's healthy. It's fine. Mine goes like that. From my boobs to right at the bottom of my stomach, mine goes out like that, like I'm pregnant. And it's like that all the time. So I have asked for a hysterectomy because it is what's best for me. And she wants to speak to me just about the risks and, anything like that, which they have to. So hopefully I'll be seeing her after my, whatever that word is, where I go to the hospital and they just have a look up inside to check the cells, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's something I have thought about for ages. It's not just a little bit of a silly little decision that I've made because of my results. You know, because at the end of the day, they are low grade, and I'm very lucky that they're low grade when there are other people that get these results in the high grade. So I do count myself as very lucky to have low grade. But I have thought about it for a long time. You know, and it's what's best for me at the end of the day, and I think this is what's best for me. I know a lot of people will have their thoughts on it, but, you know, with endometriosis as well, it will help so much. Like, there's nothing really wrong with my ovaries, so if I do go ahead and have a hysterectomy, which she hasn't said no, she said that that's fine, but she needs to speak to me first just to go through the risks and complications, you know, all that sort of stuff, which they have to do. I'm hoping that, you know, they should keep my ovaries, which I'm hoping they will. My endometriosis was so bad that last year they even wanted to put me on HRT, which I refused. I don't want to be going on HRT. Yeah, so I did refuse to go on that because, in my opinion, I didn't need to go on HRT. It was just, HRT can help endometriosis. I didn't want to go on that because I read reviews and I was like, no, I'm not putting myself through that. I don't want to. So I just kind of had to live with my endometriosis over the last year. It was 2018 I had my surgery for endometriosis, and honestly, it was the worst thing of my life. It really was. Not the surgery itself. It was because I had an allergic reaction to Buscopan, believe it or not, because they injected it when I woke up through an IV drip to help relax the muscles on your bowel, because I had surgery on my bowel as well. And I had an allergic reaction, and I was very, very, very ill. Like, my heart rate was 160, extremely high. I thought I was having a heart attack. I was begging the nurse not to leave me. It was horrendous. I didn't get to go home till 10 o'clock that night. I had so much air pumped up, you know, where they fill you with gas. So much of it squashing like my diaphragm and everything. Whenever I lay down, couldn't breathe. It was pushing on my, I don't know, wherever you breathe from. It was pushing on that. I mean, it's normal, but I just couldn't handle the pain physically because I could not breathe. So I was in hospital the next day because there was just so much air still trapped inside. But that's because when I got out of surgery at like 5 o'clock, I didn't physically get out of bed until 10 o'clock that night. That's a long time to be lay down after surgery. Ideally, you want to try and sit up to let that gas flow back down to the bottom of your stomach. Yeah, so I am scared if I do have a hysterectomy, I'm scared of, like, am I going to be ill afterwards? Am I going to have an anxiety attack and, like, cause myself to have a heart attack from an anxiety attack? I just worry so much. But you can't help it when you've had a really, really bad surgery before. I mean, I've had a couple of operations on my stomach. You do worry, is it going to be the same as it was last time? I hope not. But if anybody else has ever had, an operation for, a hysterectomy, please let me know your thoughts, how you dealt with it, the outcome. How did it go? So I would be really, really, really interested to know. Does anybody have endometriosis? Have you ever considered a hysterectomy for endometriosis? They won't do surgery just for human papilloma, because human papilloma, I don't even know if you guys are interested in this. I'm just chatting. Human papillomavirus, they won't just do a hysterectomy for that. But when you have endometriosis as well, look how pretty this is. Woo. When you have endometriosis as well, they do that. Yeah, and quite a lot of the time people get confused with human papillomavirus. So a lot of people say a hysterectomy will not get rid of human papillomavirus. Actually, it does. If your human papillomavirus, your HPV, is on your cervix only, which is the one that can turn into cancer, Very rarely, but it can. And obviously mine has already caused cell changes. If it's only on your cervix only, then obviously hysterectomy gets rid of your cervix, which then gets rid of your human papillomavirus, HPV. That's my washing machine beeping. I just washed my dog's bed in. But if you're... That's so pretty, that colour. Ew, ew. But if you're... you can actually have human papillomavirus not on your cervix and just like around your bits, around your bits, you're down below, which won't cause cancer, but it does cause like, is it warts and things like that. So a hysterectomy will not clear that because it's not on your cervix, it's just on your down below. But mine is on my cervix, so yeah. But last year when I went and seen her, the letter from my surgery that she read from a few years ago, it literally says on there was very extensive, and she doesn't really want to risk doing another surgery just to get rid of the endometriosis. But endometriosis won't be cleared. It's not cleared from having a hysterectomy. It does clear some of it, but not all of it. It does kind of depend where it is, whereas mine's kind of everywhere. So it will definitely help. It won't completely clear it, but it will definitely help. And I think with my mum having to have hers out in her 30s because she was at risk of cancer, of cervical cancer, they kept her ovary. She was never put on HRT. I think that's why it's... But the thing is, none of my family's ever had cervical cancer. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. I mean, I say not that I'm aware of. I know from the family that they haven't, but my mum was adopted, so I don't know if her real parents, like, well, her real mum or something had it. I don't know. You guys are going to have to let me know if you kind of like story time or anything like that. And if you want me to update you on like my appointments and what's happening and anything like that, just let me know and I will. It's so important, like so important to make sure you get your smear test done. Do not be scared. It doesn't hurt. You barely feel it, but it's so important. If I wasn't going for mine, like, this could have been a lot worse. Do you know what I mean? If I never had it done, this could have been a lot worse. So yeah, just make sure you go. It's really important to have them done. Okay. Oh, pretty summer. Okay, so I'm going to cure that. Yeah, it's really important, guys, to make sure you have your cervical screening done. I don't know if it's every 3 years now that they check it, or if it's still every 5 years. I'm not too sure. But obviously I've been having mine done every year because I had HPV. But a lot of people think, oh, does that mean my partner's cheated? No, it does not. HPV can lie dormant in your body for years and years and years and years, and you would not know you had it. So my first ever cervical smear that came back normal when I would have been like 25, because that's usually when the first time you have it done is when you're 25. My first ever one, they never used to check for HPV back then. So it came back normal. And then my second one came back that I had HPV because that's when they started checking for HPV. So, you know, it's not, I don't think these need a second coat, to be honest, but the yellow ones do. Yeah, so it can lie dormant for such a long time. Sometimes, you know, so you might not even know you've got it. It doesn't really show any symptoms or anything like that. Yeah, it doesn't mean your partner's cheated. So, you know, it says that in black and white on the NHS website. So don't get paranoid if you have it. It does say that most people will show up that they have HPV at some stage in their life. So yeah, make sure you go and have your smears. So important. And obviously I don't want people thinking, oh, your making out is really bad, you know, because you're wanting a hysterectomy when I have low grade. I'm really, really not. I mean, I asked last year for a hysterectomy because of my endometriosis, and she even agreed that my endometriosis was very severe. They go in stages. I think it's 1 to 4. Mine's 4. I've had a few operations, so please don't think, oh, you're only having a hysterectomy because you have low grade and it's low grade, like, what you're doing. I'm not. I asked for it last year, but she wouldn't do it because I was childbearing age, just in case I regretted it, because I thought, oh, you know, one day I'm going to be regretting that I didn't have children and that I had hysterectomy for endometriosis. But now, because I've got this, from what I'm aware, they're happy to do it, but obviously they need to speak to me first. Yeah, it's not silly, and, you know, I'm not just randomly being, I want a hysterectomy because I have low grade. Because that is not the case. I probably should have got these out first. Because obviously my fingers are still sticky. I'm just going to pop them all on here. Just look how pretty they are. And I am going all out. I'm going all out. Yes, I am. Oh, they are so cute. Aren't they, though? Just look how adorable. Yeah. So I'm just going to pop these on with a top coat. And I'm sorry if you are the person that has commented on my short asking why these fat fingers are being recorded, then I'm sorry my fat fingers offend you, okay? Really sorry. I'll try and, you know, do some weights on my fingers, make them lose weight. So, yeah, soz. But how have you guys been? It is Saturday today. Is it like the 19th or 20th? I think it's the 20th of May. And it is lush outside. It's so, so, so sunny. It's pretty. So pretty. So pretty outside, so hot. I mean, look, I am sorry, what? Okay, so, I'm going to have to hold this because this bad boy does not want to cure. Look at that. No! No! Come on. No! I'm going to have to clean that one because it's going to have gel polish all over it. Right, okay. I'll be back in a sec. Okay. So cute. I'm only using a top coat to put them on. I have got bling gel. I think it's Macart, but I'm not gonna, the one from Macart, but I'm not gonna use that. Yeah, so I'd really, really love to know. I'm gonna give this bit of a file at the bottom next. It's a bit weird. I'd love to know your experience. Oh, this is probably the wrong nail to put it on because this is so big. With a hysterectomy. I would absolutely love to know if you've had it done, what the experience was like, because I have actually read up on certain ways they can do it. I don't want abdominal, which I think is the one where they is like you wear like kind of like a C-section where they cut you there. I don't want keyhole, because they pump the shit out of you, and I don't want to be pumped that much again. But they can do it out of your woohoo, you know? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. Your VV, let's say that. They can actually pull it out of there. Yeah, so I'm going to ask if I can have that one done. Because you can sometimes with that one, you can actually go home the same day. Like, what? Yeah, so I think I prefer that one. Yes. So I'm sorry if you guys aren't interested in this story time. And if you're only interested in the nails, then just put me on mute. Even though this is like nearly done. Nearly done. Oh my god. Like, it's so hard, but I just love the big look. Okay, why do I do it? Okay. I want it like that, kind of like on an angle. For big charms like this, you really want to use like a bling gel. But I'm just popping them off anyway. And I am actually going to take the charms off as well and keep them. Because I don't want to waste them. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever use them. Because they are huge. But I just love them so much. Like, they cool. Oh, like look, I can't even close my fingers. I might put some smaller ones on this one. I was going to do like a sugar nail, but I'm not going to. Because I don't want to take away too much. I definitely want this little donut. I really wanted that as well, but that would have been way too big. Yeah. Suppose I could take these off actually and pop that on there. What's this? It looks like a frog. Oh no, it's not. Is it an ice cream? Ooh. That's the finished result. I don't know where we got to. My partner came back from walking the dog with his brother with another dog, so I've just paused it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I will try and find these. I'm pretty sure though these were from Shein, which was my last Shein haul, so you can go and check that out because they'll be linked in there anyway. I took the little ones off and I just put some big ones on here just to make it all match, but I really like them. But guys, they are heavy. But yeah, I've done the peel off method, so I will show you what they look like. See if I can peel it off. I'll show you just how easy it is. They might not come off though, because I used a base coat to apply them. I don't know if that will affect the peel off base coat that I used on my nail tips, and then I used a normal base coat to apply the tips. So I don't know. Yeah, but I really like them. They're so cute. Let me know if you enjoy story times, and please let me know if you have had hysterectomy and how or when and all this sort of stuff. But you don't have to. Obviously, it's private. It's your business. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to. So let's see if I can pop one of these off. They might not come off though, okay? Because again, I use this to put on my natural nail, which is the peel off base coat. And to apply the tips, the full cover tips, I used a base coat. I don't know if this is going to make it really stick to the peel off base coat. I don't know. But sometimes, oh, that's come straight off from where it's not cured fully. Sometimes they should just pop off. Sometimes you have to get kind of like a corner. See, just there. Corner, and it doesn't hurt. Yep, there we go. And that did not hurt at all. Take those off. It just makes it easier getting the nail tips off. I do like to, see, it just comes off super easy. Okay, this one is stuck on there really well, this charm. Ah, there we go. Stuck on that. So around there, I always like to get my nail and just kind of score underneath, if that makes sense, and it comes right off really easily. See? Really easily. I'm just rubbing the cuticle oil on my nail tips now. I'm not going to do this one because I have bad thumbs and I don't want you guys to see my skanky thumbs. But thank you very much for watching, and thank you for letting me ramble about something that you might not even be interested in. But my next one hopefully will be my Temu nail haul. It's not a huge one, but yeah, bought some acrylics as well that we're going to try, see how they go. But thank you very much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye!